Great. I think we're getting down to just a few minutes left here. We'll see if we can get a couple more questions in. So please.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is David Ferguson. I'm a pharmacy student at Howard University. My background is in chemistry and science communication. So when we think about the work that you're doing and the work of AI and computer science in general, we recognize or we see that with the Schrodinger's equation, we were able to scale up how we were able to solve those problems in terms of solving problems at scale. So my question to you is, what strategies or what key steps do you have in place in terms of policy for democratizing access so that we can solve problems at scale at the academic level and also at the industry level? What key policies and key strategies do you have in place so that you can democratize access so that more people can solve problems at scale and help us approach those goals and solutions that we need to improve society? For example, Georgia Tech recently got an AI supercomputer lab, so the students will have access to this new emerging technology. So what strategies do you have in place? Or are you planning in terms of policy?
Yeah, let's take this question. We'll also take one last one from here and try to address them both before we close in a couple minutes.
Thank you. My name is Nathan, and my question is pretty straightforward. How is the State Department currently working with the tech sector and private companies? Because obviously they have a lot of power and control over our lives with how technology has emerged. And how are we going to do more in the future to do that?
So I can start answering the first question while so my colleagues can chime in on the second. So for this administration, there is a very large push focused on open science to really ensure that information from publicly funded research, so government-funded research happening in academia, becomes more accessible to the public, which helps increase knowledge sharing, et cetera. So there's lots of documentation on that from the White House. A second thing, I think you raised a really good point, especially with artificial intelligence. That means you have to think through access to compute power and data to really be able to have multiple communities being able to access the types of things that very few companies currently have the resources to do, and it's really the very large tech companies. So there was a recommendation that came out of the national, again, an acronym, I forget, it's the MARI, the National AI Initiative Office out of the White House, OSTP, that specifically focused on that. How do you figure out how to work with academia to provide access to compute power, et cetera? And Congress has taken that up and actually had draft legislation on it. So it's something that's a really big part of the policy conversation here in DC, specifically to make sure that you're able to bring that diverse community to tackle these issues because of the reasons you stated.
Thank you so much. You answered my question.